comes a moment in life when you realize that struggle is not a requirement for success, and suffering is not a prerequisite for growth. You were never meant to fight the universe. You were meant to work with it. The universe does not respond to force. It responds to alignment. It listens to the quiet language of your beliefs, your emotions, and the way you treat yourself when no one is watching, when you change the way you speak to yourself, when you soften instead of resist, when you choose trust over fear. Life begins to rearrange itself effortlessly. This is the real secret to changing your life. Everything in your life begins with the relationship you have with yourself. Before the world responds to you, before opportunities appear or disappear, before love finds you or feels distant, there is an inner conversation taking place. This conversation quietly shapes how safe you feel in life, how much you expect from it, and how open you are to receiving good things. The universe does not respond first to your actions, it responds to your self-relationship. When you speak to yourself with criticism, life often feels critical in return. When you doubt yourself, situations seem to reflect that uncertainty back to you. This is not punishment, it is feedback. Life mirrors the tone you use with your own soul. The way you treat yourself becomes the blueprint for how the world treats you. Many people try to change their lives by fixing external circumstances. They chase success, approval, love, or validation, believing that once they have these things, they will finally feel worthy or at peace. But the truth is, no achievement can heal a relationship with yourself that is rooted in rejection. No relationship can feel secure if you have abandoned yourself inside. Lasting change does not start out there. It starts in the quiet moments when you choose how to relate to your own thoughts, emotions, and needs. The relationship you have with yourself is built through small, repeated choices. It is shaped by how you respond when you make a mistake. Do you attack yourself or do you offer understanding? It is shaped by how you speak to your body. Do you criticize it or do you thank it for carrying you through life? These moments may seem insignificant, but they accumulate. Over time, they form a belief about whether you are safe with yourself or not. When you become a place of safety for yourself, something remarkable happens. Your nervous system relaxes, your energy softens. You no longer approach life from a state of defense. And when you are no longer defending yourself from your own inner voice, you become more open to trust, to opportunity, and to connection. Life feels less like a battle and more like a collaboration. Self-acceptance does not mean settling or giving up on growth. It means choosing compassion as the starting point for change. Growth that comes from self-love is gentle, sustainable, and aligned. Growth that comes from self-rejection is exhausting and fragile. When you accept yourself as you are, you send a powerful message to life: I am worthy now. The universe responds to that certainty. Your inner relationship also determines what you allow into your life. If deep down you believe you are unworthy, you may unconsciously push away good things or settle for less than you deserve. If you believe you must struggle to earn love or success, life will provide endless opportunities to struggle. But when you begin to believe that you are deserving simply because you exist, you start allowing ease, support, and joy to flow toward you. Loving yourself does not require perfection. It requires presence. It means listening to your emotions instead of suppressing them. It means honoring your boundaries instead of betraying yourself to please others. Each time you choose yourself with kindness, you strengthen the most important relationship of your life. As this relationship heals, the world begins to change without effort. People respond differently to you because you are responding differently to yourself. Opportunities align because your expectations have shifted. You stop chasing what you already believe belongs to you. You stop forcing outcomes because you trust your worth does not depend on them. The universe reflects self-belief effortlessly. It does not need convincing. When you stand in quiet self-respect, life meets you there. When you treat yourself with patience, life unfolds with patience. When you trust yourself, life becomes more trustworthy. Everything truly begins here. not in action, not in strategy, not in struggle, but in the way you choose to relate to yourself each day. When that relationship is rooted in love, safety, and trust, the rest of life has no choice but to follow. Your thoughts are quiet instructions, constantly shaping the direction of your life, whether you are aware of them or not. You may believe that only your actions matter, but long before action takes place, a thought has already set the tone. Thoughts are subtle, repeated signals that inform life how to respond to you. They are not loud commands, they are gentle permissions. What you consistently think becomes what you consistently experience. Most thoughts run in the background, unnoticed and unquestioned. These habitual thoughts form beliefs, and beliefs become expectations. When you expect disappointment, you unconsciously prepare for it. When you expect ease, you move differently, speak differently, and choose differently. Life responds to these expectations not because it is testing you, but because it is reflecting you. Every thought carries an emotional charge. A thought repeated with emotion becomes an instruction the universe cannot ignore. A single negative thought may pass without consequence, but a thought rehearsed daily becomes a blueprint. This is why change feels difficult when the inner dialogue remains the same. You cannot create a new experience while giving old instructions. Thoughts are powerful because they shape your perception. You do not see life as it is, you see life as you be. Leave it to be. If you believe opportunities are scarce, you overlook them even when they appear. If you believe people cannot be trusted, you interpret neutral actions as threats. The mind filters reality based on what it has been told to expect. These filters are created by thought. The universe does not analyze your intentions or judge your worth. It responds to the dominant signal you offer. If your thoughts are rooted in fear, life feels unstable. If your thoughts are rooted in trust, life begins to feel supportive. This does not mean you must force positivity or deny your emotions. It means becoming aware of the stories you tell yourself and gently choosing ones that serve your well-being. You can begin to change your life by listening to your thoughts without resistance. Awareness alone weakens unconscious patterns. When you notice a limiting thought, you do not need to fight it. Simply replace it with a softer, kinder instruction. For example, instead of "nothing ever works out for me," you might say, "things are improving in ways I can't yet see." This shift does not demand perfection. It invites possibility. Thoughts spoken with kindness carry a different energy. When you think lovingly about yourself, your body relaxes. When your body relaxes, your decisions become clearer. When your decisions become clearer, life responds with greater harmony. This chain reaction begins with a single thought chosen consciously. You are not required to control every thought. You are only asked to nurture the ones you repeat. Gentle affirmations are not meant to convince the mind through force. They are meant to create a new emotional atmosphere within you. Over time, this atmosphere becomes familiar, and what once felt unnatural begins to feel true. Your thoughts are always teaching life how to treat you. If you believe you are supported, you notice support. If you believe you are capable, challenges feel manageable. If you believe you are worthy, receiving feels safe. Life responds accordingly, not because it favors some over others, but because it mirrors consistency. As you become more mindful of your thoughts, you reclaim creative power. You move from reacting to life to co-creating with it. You begin to realize that peace is not something you find, it is something you practice internally. And when peace becomes your dominant instruction, life has no choice but to reflect it. Your thoughts may be quiet, but they are never insignificant. They are the seeds from which your experiences grow. Choose them with care, speak them with gentleness, and trust that life is always listening. Feelings are the language the universe understands most clearly. Long before words form, before plans are made, before action is taken, there is a feeling moving through you. That feeling is not random. It is a signal. It is the emotional tone you are broadcasting to life, quietly telling it what you are ready to receive. The universe does not respond to effort alone. It responds to emotional alignment. Many people try to change their lives, by changing circumstances while their inner emotional state remains the same. They focus on doing more, thinking harder, or controlling outcomes, yet nothing seems to shift. This happens because life is not responding to what you want, but to how you feel. Feelings create your point of attraction. They are the bridge between desire and manifestation. You do not attract what you ask for, you attract what feels familiar. If peace feels unfamiliar, chaos may repeat. If love feels unsafe, distance may appear instead. The universe simply matches the emotional patterns you carry. This is not a punishment. It is an invitation to become emotionally available for what you desire. Feelings reveal what you believe at the deepest level. You can say you want abundance, but if you feel anxious when money appears, your body is communicating resistance. You can say you want love, but if closeness triggers fear, your nervous system is sending mixed signals. Life listens to the body more than the mind. The body speaks through feeling. When you begin to honor your emotions instead of suppressing them, you shift your energy. Feelings are not obstacles, they are messengers. Anxiety may be asking for safety. Sadness may be asking for compassion. Restlessness may be asking for trust. When you listen without judgment, emotional energy moves instead of staying stuck. The universe responds most easily to feelings of worth, ease, safety, and openness. When you feel deserving, receiving becomes natural. When you feel calm, solutions appear without struggle. When you feel grateful, expansion follows. These feelings are not forced states. They are cultivated through self-care, gentle thought, and self-trust. You do not need to feel joyful all the time to manifest a beautiful life. You only need to feel authentic and supported. Emotional honesty creates alignment. When you allow yourself to feel what is present while choosing kindness toward yourself, resistance dissolves. The universe responds to truth, not performance. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is learning to feel as if what you desire is already safe for you. This does not mean pretending. It means allowing your body to experience the calm, confidence, or relief you would feel if your desire were fulfilled. That feeling becomes a signal of readiness. Life responds by arranging circumstances that match it. When you release the need to control how and when things happen, your emotional state softens. Control is rooted in fear. Trust is rooted in safety. The moment you feel safe with life, you stop blocking what is meant for you. Ease replaces urgency. Flow replaces force. Feelings are also contagious within you. A single moment of peace can influence an entire day. A moment of gratitude can open unexpected doors. Emotional alignment compounds over time. Small shifts in how you feel daily create powerful transformations. The universe is always listening, not to your demands, but to your emotional atmosphere. It responds to consistency, not intensity. When you cultivate feelings that support your well-being, life mirrors that support effortlessly. You are not here to struggle your way into happiness. You are here to allow happiness by becoming emotionally aligned with it. Feel gently, trust deeply. Life understands you perfectly through your feelings, and it is always responding in your favor. Releasing control is one of the most misunderstood acts of power. Many people believe that holding tightly, planning every detail, and anticipating every possible outcome is what keeps them safe. In reality, excessive control is often rooted in fear, the fear that life will not support you unless you manage it perfectly. When you release control, you are not giving up your power, you are reclaiming it. Control creates tension within the mind and body. It keeps you in a constant state of vigilance, scanning for what could go wrong. This tension blocks clarity and drains energy. Life begins to feel heavy, urgent, and overwhelming. The more you try to force outcomes, the more resistance you encounter. This is not because you are doing something wrong, but because life does not respond to pressure. It responds to trust. True power comes from inner certainty, not external dominance. When you trust yourself and life, you no longer need to manipulate situations to feel secure. You move from a place of calm confidence instead of anxious effort. This calm is magnetic. It allows opportunities to find you rather than requiring you to chase them. Releasing control does not mean becoming passive or careless. It means letting go of the belief that you must struggle to deserve good things. It means allowing life to collaborate with you instead of resisting it. When you loosen your grip, you create space for creativity, intuition, and unexpected support to enter. Control often stems from past experiences where things felt unpredictable or painful. The mind learns to overcompensate by trying to manage everything. But the present moment is not the past. Each time you choose trust over fear, you gently retrain your nervous system. Your body begins to relax, your thoughts become clearer, your decisions become more aligned. When you release the need to know exactly how something will unfold, you open yourself to better outcomes than you could have planned. Life is far more intelligent than the limited perspective of the mind. It sees paths, connections, and timing you cannot. Trusting this intelligence is an act of self-respect. Letting go of control also softens your relationship with others. You stop trying to change people, convince them, or predict their behavior. You allow them to be who they are. And in doing so, you protect your own peace. Relationships become lighter and more authentic when they are not driven by fear or expectation. The universe responds powerfully to surrender, not surrender to helplessness, but surrender to alignment. When you stop forcing, your energy becomes receptive. You begin to notice signs, opportunities, and solutions that were always present but previously blocked by tension. Flow replaces friction. There is great strength in saying, I trust life to meet me halfway. This trust shifts your posture toward life. You move with patience instead of urgency. You take inspired action instead of reactive action. The results feel effortless, even when they require effort. Releasing control also allows you to enjoy the present moment. When you are no longer fixated on outcomes, you experience life as it unfolds. Joy becomes accessible now, not postponed until everything is perfect. This presence is powerful. It aligns you with the natural rhythm of life. Power does not come from controlling the world. It comes from knowing you can handle whatever arises. When you trust yourself and life, control becomes unnecessary. You gain freedom, clarity, and peace. And from that place, life responds generously, reflecting back the power you reclaimed by letting go. Your words shape your future long before you realize it. Every sentence you speak, whether aloud or silently within yourself, carries direction. Words are not neutral. They are charged with meaning, emotion, and expectation. Repeated words become beliefs, and beliefs quietly guide the course of your life. You are always speaking your future into existence, even in moments you think do not matter. Most people underestimate the power of their daily language. Casual phrases like, I'm tired of this, nothing ever changes, or that's just how I am, may seem harmless, but when repeated, they become instructions. The mind listens, the body responds, life follows. Your words teach your subconscious, to accept as truth, and the subconscious works tirelessly to prove you right. The way you speak to yourself is especially powerful. Inner dialogue shapes self-worth, confidence, and emotional safety. If your inner voice is harsh, life feels demanding. If your inner voice is supportive, life feels manageable. You cannot consistently speak limitation to yourself and expect expansion from life. Language is the framework through which experience forms. Words also influence how your nervous system responds to life. Gentle language creates calm. Harsh language creates tension. When you say, I am safe, your body relaxes. When you say, I can't handle this, stress increases. The body does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It reacts to words as if they are commands. When your body is calm, your perception shifts. You see options instead of obstacles. You make decisions from clarity instead of fear. This is how words shape outcomes indirectly but powerfully. They set the emotional tone that determines how you respond to circumstances. Affirming words are not meant to deny reality. They are meant to create a new relationship with it, saying, Things are improving does not ignore challenges. It opens space for solutions. Saying, I trust the process, does not eliminate uncertainty. It reduces resistance. Your words do not need to be dramatic. They need to be consistent. The universe responds to the emotional truth behind your words. Words spoken with belief, momentum. Words spoken casually still matter, but those spoken repeatedly with feeling shape patterns. This is why changing your language can feel uncomfortable at first. You are interrupting old patterns. With time, new words become familiar, and the future they describe begins to feel natural. Speaking kindly about yourself changes how others treat you. Speaking positively about life changes how life meets you. When you expect good things, your posture, tone, and actions align with that expectation. Life mirrors this alignment effortlessly. You are not required to monitor every word you speak. You are invited to become conscious of the ones you repeat. Choose words that feel supportive, encouraging, and true enough to believe. Even small shifts matter. Replacing I hope with I trust changes your relationship with the future. Replacing I can't with I'm learning opens possibility. Your words are seeds. Some grow into confidence, some grow into doubt. You decide which ones you water. Over time, the landscape of your life reflects the language you nurtured. Speak as someone who expects life to support them. Speak to yourself as someone worthy of kindness. Speak to the future with trust. The words you choose today become the reality you live tomorrow. Alignment is the quiet force that moves life without struggle. When your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions point in the same direction, resistance dissolves. You are no longer pushing against life or pulling toward you. You are moving with it. This is what it means to be aligned, and in this state, the universe appears to obey, not because it is being commanded, but because you are no longer contradicting yourself. Most frustration comes from inner conflict. You may want success, yet doubt your worth. You may desire peace, yet hold on to fear. You may ask for love, yet expect disappointment. These mixed signals create delays, confusion, and resistance. Life responds exactly as instructed. When the inner messages are inconsistent, the outer results reflect that inconsistency. Alignment begins with clarity. It requires honesty with yourself about what you believe, what you feel, and what you are ready to receive. When you acknowledge these layers without judgment, you create coherence. Coherence is powerful. It is the state in which your energy becomes clear and focused, allowing life to respond efficiently. When your thoughts support your desires, they stop undermining them. When your emotions feel safe with your desires, you stop blocking them. When your actions reflect trust instead of fear, you move naturally toward outcomes that feel right. Alignment is not about forcing positivity. It is about removing inner resistance. The universe responds to alignment because alignment creates stability. Stable energy attracts stable outcomes. When you are aligned, you no longer chase. You allow. You no longer rush. You trust. Your presence communicates certainty without effort. Life recognizes this certainty and responds in kind. Being aligned also means releasing the need to control how things unfold. Control is often a sign of misalignment driven by fear or doubt. Trust is a sign of alignment. When you trust yourself and life, you act from intuition instead of anxiety. Intuitive action feels calm, clear, and timely. It moves you forward without exhaustion. Alignment does not require perfection. It requires consistency. You may still experience doubt or fear, but alignment means not letting those states lead. It means returning to thoughts, feelings, and actions that support your well-being. Over time, this consistency becomes your natural state. When you are aligned, opportunities seem to appear effortlessly. People respond differently to you. Situations resolve themselves. This is not coincidence, it is resonance. Life reflects the harmony you have created within yourself. The universe is always responding, but alignment allows you to notice and receive its response. Alignment also deepens self-trust. When you act in alignment, you honor your values and intuition. Each aligned choice strengthens confidence. This confidence is not loud or aggressive. It is quiet and grounded. It signals readiness to receive without needing validation. You do not need to convince the universe of your worth. Alignment communicates worth naturally. When you believe in yourself, feel safe in your desires, and act accordingly, life has no conflicting instructions to follow. It moves smoothly in your favor. Alignment makes the universe appear to obey because you have removed resistance. You have become clear. You have become receptive. In this state, life flows, outcomes align, and change feels effortless. The power was always within you. Alignment simply allows it to work.